Bon noite, it's Lady Flo. Hello, beauties and gents. Well, it looks like the Gyp verse just had its Big Bang moment where there is creativity in every direction. People are really noticing everything all at once, and it's really, really exciting. Now, so one thing we got to talk about is Gypsy's body language is adjusting, y'all. Yeah, she changed her tactics on us right when we learned her body language. And we're like, okay, we know what she's doing here. We know what she's doing there. We know what she's doing everywhere. A girl changed her tactics. Look at this bizarre way she is shaking her hands. She does this thing where she suddenly shakes her hands on her lap, repeatedly, and then lays it firm, straight, be quiet. And it's like she's waving to get Ken's attention and then puts her palm down, finger straight out, and is quiet. Almost as if you had a stop sign that you're doing in the air with your hand, but she's doing it facing her lap. And it's really bizarre. And I was like, oh my goodness, is this what I think it is? So I zoomed in on Ken's face at that very moment. And yes, Ken is looking directly at her hands. Twice I found in one interview, where she shakes her hands to get Ken to look and then does her hand to let her do the talking and for him to be quiet. Well, it looks like she has no qualms about being in control. Typically people who are victims, they have a hard time having control in situations. They have a hard time speaking up. They have a hard time learning boundaries. They have a hard time speaking up on what they want. Yeah, Gyp has zero of those things. Zero. So this is why, when people deal with victims on a daily basis or they deal with trauma or they volunteer at homeless shelters, when you have that kind of scenario and then you look at Gypsy and how she interacts with others, it's very easy to identify. Her behaviors are one that you would see in a child who grew up in a home where they're always told they're beautiful and that they're always told they're the smartest person in the room, and they're also never do anything wrong, or also they get anything they want. So it's kind of like if you have a kid where everything they want, they feel like they're in control and they get very used to being the one in control. So much so that even when they're in a room with very powerful people, they still feel like they're the one in control. And you see with how Gyp interacted with Kim Kardashian. You also see this with how she speaks about Trump like he's just some guy down at the subway. We're all human, but come on, some people have some pretty impressive resumes. And yeah, Gyp, she just thinks she's the most powerful person in the room. She really does. So let's go back to the hand thing. What are we going to name this one? Should we call it the Sunday shake? Where someone's in gospel and they're going to church on Sunday and they do the whole handshake. I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't. That's kind of giving it a bad rep, because Gyp's telling Ken to shut up. And usually when people are doing this handshake in Sunday worship, they're like, praise the Lord, we'll call it the flag stop. That's what we'll call it, the flag stop. Because she's waving a flag and then she puts her hand palm down to make it stop. Yep, it's getting Ken to flag him and then get him to a full stop. That's what's happening. Now, guys, how does she treat all of her male partners like this? I mean, does she even know how to have a relationship that is not entirely where she's the dominant in every single situation? I can't even imagine how that would make Ken feel. And he might think, oh, well, this is her job. She's the famous one. I'm just here to look good and look pretty. And maybe, but it also looks like she does this in other scenarios as well, not just when she's being interviewed, at least from what I can tell. And that's not healthy for a guy to have to deal with that on a regular basis, or even a female. If a female's with a guy and the guy's telling her, oh, I got to flag you, stop talking, typically relationships are equal, and typically One partner does not need to have complete control over the other partner. That's not normal. So let me know what you guys think on this. It's new, so we don't know what to do with it. But yeah, I think it's one of our new body language tactics. We're going to have to add this to the other ones. And let me know what you guys want to call it. Do you want to call it the flag stop, or is Sunday worship kind of catchy? I don't know. The Sunday shake. So yeah, I'd love to hear your comments. We'll see you later. Ciao.